lot of people that are just grappling with everything that's going on. In fact, I just got off another call here just a few minutes ago. And especially those of you that are so inclined, hi Stephen, hi Ty, so inclined to be the caretakers for people, to be the one that's responsible, for be the healers, the empaths. Hello, Christine. For those of you that are so wired and so called to serve on so many levels, I want to talk a little bit about you tonight. I want to create a space where we can have some conversation, where you can feel some love and support around you and start creating activation around what you need. And so you'll notice at the top I wrote rest, restoration, renewal, recharge, replenish, receive. Some of you need to take the opportunity to realize that you need to be able to go through your own emotions and whatever's processing for you and whatever's showing up amidst all this chaos and this crisis. Hi, Tim. Thank you, Ty. I appreciate that. And I think about it's been showing up. It showed up for me earlier this week. I mentioned earlier when I did a Facebook Live, I've been live a lot today. You think I'd be tired of it? Not at all. I love being here with all of you. How I kind of wasn't paying attention to what was going on as through Friday, and then Saturday hit and it felt like the wheels kind of came off. Everything started to change. The enormity, the weight of what's going on sort of hit, and I started to go through my own, hey Erin, started to go through my own processing around, hi Terry, around what was happening. And so I found myself angry. I found myself grappling. I found myself having some old stories and fear and shame. And by the way, I've got 2 Facebook Lives going on here. Hello, Stacy. Those of you showing up on my personal page, those of you showing up on my trainer speaker page, I just want to make sure I can see all of you. Make sure that I'm seeing the comments, because I want you guys to engage in this. I want to have a conversation. I want to know how you're feeling, how you're doing, what you need. Because so many of you are the people that you're holding everybody else up. You think you've got to be responsible for putting things out there, for helping people through all of this anxiety and the stress and the anger and the emotions that are coming up. And you've forgotten to take space for yourself. You've forgotten to give yourself that space and grace to say, what am I feeling? What do I need right now? And we're so wired to serve. We're so wired to show up. And oftentimes, hey, Kim, we are missing the opportunity to fill our own tank. And so many of you know, who have been traveling before and flying, they always tell you to put your oxygen mask on first. This is a prime example of where we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves first. And so I'm curious, how are you guys feeling? What's showing up? Hey, Kevin. Hey, Dan. Love seeing all of you jump on here tonight. I think about, we've got all this social distancing going on right now. We're not allowed to be in the same space with people, and you got to be at like 6 feet apart. And I even went and worked out this morning, and we're only allowed, hello, Elaine, we're only allowed, 10 people total in this size area, and we were all spread out, and we had to work individually, and it was awesome to be in a space where you could see other people, but it also sucked because we couldn't really, engage and do things we normally do when we're training. And what I look at is just because we have to distance physically doesn't mean we have to distance in terms of what's in our heart. Hi, Dan. And what's going on with us. I think this is such a powerful opportunity to create social connection, to create community, and to engage in some conversations that helps lift and shift us into a higher level of being, a higher level of consciousness. And some of that is being able to take a pause, being able to have a space, hey Kevin, where we are honoring what we need. And so I'm curious, how many of you have really taken time to just kind of lean in to what's going on and to ask yourself, how am I feeling? What's showing up for me? What are my emotions that I'm dealing with? Hi, Lisa. Am I giving myself the opportunity, the gift? And so I think about, there's a lot of things that we could be doing right now. And there's a lot of people, and some of you might even be in that downward spiral, right? You're in that space where you're really struggling with all of the energy that's moving, all of what you're hearing on the news, all of what you're hearing people say, not sure what's valid, what's really happening, the magnitude. And it's easy to get sucked into that. It's easy. It's like this vortex, right? It just kind of like brings you down. And it's easy to play the worrying game and the what if game and the over anxious and fear ridden and all those stories. Or we could choose to lift ourselves up and thus lift others around us and shift into what can we be grateful for right now? What are the blessings and the gifts that are in front of us in light of all the chaos, in light of all the uncertainty? And some of the gift that's being given to you right now, especially for those of you that are being, quote, quarantined or being contained or being asked to stay at home, whether you're working at home or they've shut down things in your city, you're not able to travel, whatever's going on with wherever you're at in whatever part of the world, this is an opportunity for reflection. Ooh, there's the one R I forgot. I have to go back and change that, right? So there's an opportunity for reflection. There's an opportunity for renewal, for rest, for recharging our spirits and our soul. There's this space to replenish and receive what's actually happening. And look at what some of the positives that are coming out of this, right? There's changes in the climate that are happening and what's happening with pollution, right? And so there's this space of looking at what's happening with some of the polarization, and people are coming together because we have to rely on one another. There's things that are happening that are really an opportunity for us to lean in, to see the magic, and to know that whatever we're going through right now, we're going to come out on the other side. History has shown us that so many things inside of what we've experienced before, we've always come on the other side. We're in the middle of it right now, right? Kelly, overall, I'm doing well. I'm comfortable in my skin and at home. I'm definitely picking up the overall fear, and I'm encouraging health, peace, and love. I love that. Sad that we cannot visit my bonus mom in full care, and a bit scared to put myself out there and share my knowing during this time. And Kelly, I would say, first of all, I can relate. I feel you. I understand that. And this is the time where we need to show up from our hearts, right? Whatever is dropping in for you, whatever you're feeling called to be, whatever you are being asked in terms of how you show up. One, make sure you're taking that care for yourself. Two, trust that whatever's dropping in, that knowing, that space, that care, know that that's with purpose. Know that that's not by accident. Ty, great. I look forward to seeing that. Hey, Philip. And so I want you to think about what's showing up for you right now. What is presenting? Is it that you need to create some space for yourself and maybe extend some compassion and kindness and grace, not only for yourself, for what you're feeling. Hello, Denise. Kevin, I haven't had the time to rest, recharge, grieve, and accept what has happened and what continues to happen. You know, and I would say, Kevin, in that space, then maybe it's time to create that space for yourself. I know it can be really easy to get caught up in things, and you're just doing, you're like, I got to take care of everything that's happening. I got to make sure that we're going to be okay. And give yourself that space for some grace, for some compassion, for some rest, for some reflection. Focus on what is really most powerful and meaningful right now. And don't let, every time you feel yourself kind of falling into that space of getting sucked into that negative vortex, think about where you want to direct your energy. And I think about what we can actually control, which is actually quite a bit. And if you think about, and I said this earlier today, if you think about what you can ultimately control, it's what you expect, what you believe, what you think about, what you speak about, and what you take action on. And so when you understand that there's a lot of power in that, and when we can put all that focus on the what if scenarios that haven't happened, right now we're sitting here in health. There are things and conditions that are creating constraints. Sure, I am not by any means denying the magnitude of what's happening and the complications and the irritations and the frustrations. And I can continue to play in that space to think about what I don't have, what's not happening. Hi, Pamela. What's being taken from me, or I can focus on what's positive. And where you choose to put your thought, your intention, your what you speak about, think about, what you are really focusing about is what you're going to pull forward in terms of the energy that you're feeling. And so there's things that you can be doing right now. There's things that you can do to shift out of that space. And so this morning I actually, and if you didn't see this, I welcome you to go back and see the Facebook Live I did around lunchtime. I walk through a breathing exercise. A breathing exercise, it really lets you expand and feel into that. Tonight, I want to offer you a couple different things to think about as ways to, especially as we're getting in the evening hours, right? It's really easy. And I love that all of you are with me right now. And I hope that when we get off this Facebook Live, that maybe you unplug for a little bit. Maybe you stop watching all the news. Maybe you stop seeing all the memes. Maybe you stop worrying about if there's toilet paper at your grocery store, right? And maybe just for a moment, you give yourself that pause, that space to lean in, that space to reflect on what you're grateful for. The fact that maybe you are in good health right now. The fact that your family's safe. The fact that you do have everything you need in this present moment. Don't worry about tomorrow and next week and a month from now and all, but in this moment, you're okay. There's incredible power when we recognize the presence for what it is, that it is a gift. It is this space where in this moment, we get to connect together. In this moment, we get to share community with each other. And look at the people that are dropping in, right? I've got people that are coming in, kind of in and out, and are here and engaging with each other. You're not alone. Just because we have this space of social distancing doesn't mean we need to create social isolation. And so I'm encouraging right now, I'd love to hear from some of you that are on. How is your day going? How's the evening going? Some of you, I see Kevin weighed in and Kelly weighed in and Denise, hello. It's so good to see you, my friend. But just talk about what's in your heart right now. I would love to have you share that. We have a space, we have a place for people to know that you're not the only person feeling this. It's okay if you're feeling angry. It's okay if you're feeling scared, if you're feeling uncertain. It's okay. And what I want you to recognize is you're not the only person. And so together we have the opportunity to activate something different, to lean into something that is more powerful, to truly lift ourselves up into a higher vibration and shift away from the damaging what ifs. And I share this a lot with my clients sometimes, and so I'll use this a little bit with you guys as well. We often get into that very doomsday, very heavy, what if this happens? What if I can't? What if my job implodes, my company implodes? What if I don't have enough money to pay my mortgage or my rent this month? What if, there is no toilet paper next week, and what do we do then? What if there isn't food at the grocery store? What if? And we keep future projecting out all of these worst case scenarios that when we create that energy, the magnitude of what we're already in just exemplifies, right? It gets exaggerated, and it feels like more of that is happening to us, instead of shifting out of the what if space altogether and allow your imagination to play what I call imagine if. So instead of what if, which is this really heavy anchoring, future projecting of the worst case scenario that might happen, and the fact that the sky is falling and we're moving into the zombie apocalypse, which in this present moment has not happened. So the thing is even if that does happen, we have no control over it. So in this present moment, that's not here. What if instead, imagine if we started to play with the possibilities of what could be presenting for us as a result of all of this. Imagine if for a moment, this is a way to wake us up to the opportunity and to the vibration and the consciousness that we could be playing in that allows us to be more connected with each other. Imagine if when we come through this, and here's the irony of life, right? There's 3 phases of life. You're either going into a conflict, in the middle of a conflict, or coming out of a conflict. Right now, we're in the shitstorm middle of the conflict. We are so in it. And here's the beautiful part about that. History has told us this. Hey, Mindy has shown us this over and over and over again. Your own personal history has shown you this, that for every time you're in the middle of a conflict, if you're still breathing, if you're still here, if you are here joining me and we're having this conversation right now, it means that we're going to get through this conflict, and there is something on the other side we haven't even begun to imagine. And think about those moments. And I've had a lot of rock bottom, holy shit, ass handed to me in the arena, been upside down, inside out. You can't even believe some of the things that have happened. And where that took me when I came out of that conflict on the other side was in this space that was so beautiful, so exquisite, so open, so expansive. It wasn't even something I could have even fathomed for myself. It's part of what got me here to do this work with all of you, by the way. It was a huge rock bottom moment that got me here. And so imagine for a minute, just play with the seed of possibility. Play with the space that says, imagine if all of this is happening to right the ship. Imagine if all of this is happening to crack us wide open so we actually tap into our own superpowers more, our superpowers for love and compassion and kindness and forgiveness and grace. And we start to show up in the magnitude and the potential of what humanity can really be for itself. I think about some of the aftermath we experienced after 9/11, right? The way we came together. It was like polarization went away for a while. It was like we were able to create community, and then somewhere we lost our way again and kind of forgot. And I feel like there's a part of this that might be this like, and some of you might get triggered by this, and I understand that. I want to just play in this a little bit, right? I want to activate something different. What if this is the universal 2x4? That, Mother Nature, the universe, God, whatever you want to believe says, you know what? It's time for a wake-up call. I need to bring you back together. And this is how we're going to do that. Imagine if what happens on the other side of this, because there will be another side of this. I believe that to my core. I believe if it was something, it was going to be the apocalypse, it would have happened, we'd be done. I think there's so much goodness that's coming out of this right now. So much opportunity for us to build deeper level connections, to have courageous connected conversation, to really get back to remembering what community is all about. I think we've lost that. I think we've let ourselves become polarized. We've let ourselves become, this is my camp, this is your camp, you're over there, this group, that group, hey, Chris. I want you to feel for a moment a possibility, and just dance with it for a minute, right? I just want you to play. Imagine if the other side of this chaos, the other side of this crisis is bringing us into this space that we can't even fathom, what is so beautiful and so juicy and so rich. And it is the bridge. It is the path that connects us back to each other. Imagine for a moment, I saw this amazing meme today, and it said something like, imagine when we come out of this for a moment, if you actually don't take for granted shaking the hand of a stranger and looking them in the eye, seeing someone's heart when you meet them for the first time. Imagine if we don't take for granted the busyness of traffic on the streets, or rushing to get our kids to school, or all these little things that maybe, and again, I'm just playing in the realm of possibilities, maybe we've taken for granted. That maybe this is the universal 2x4 we need to come back together as a family, to come back together and connect. And I'm a big believer, and I'm in my extroverted space right now. I'm feeding off all of you that are showing up, that are here. Again, I want to know how you're doing. Tell me, weigh in, questions. I'm here to answer questions to how can I support you? What do you need right now? What's going on for you? And just to have this conversation and see who wants to play in this, who wants to activate something that feels positive and expansive and opening, rather than getting all caught up in all of this what if and this negativity and what we can't control. And you can see Peyton just walked by. He's right here. He's here. Here, you want to say hi, buddy? Look at that little face. Isn't he a sweetie pie? Look at that. How can you not have great energy? He's even ready to activate, right? So he's here for the journey. Imagine for a moment, all of this is happening for us, not to us, for us, to be the bridge, to be the path home, so that we can start to connect with each other differently. Imagine if we could start to build our community stronger. Imagine if we stop taking everything for granted and recognize that life is very precious. Imagine if we started living from our hearts first, instead of always being in our headspace and being so analytical and trying to put things in boxes and buckets, right? Imagine what would happen with that. And I want to let you know, I am feeling called. I feel like I've been on Facebook all day today. I'm live and on these communities, and I've just been on video having these conversations. I'm feeling very called to show up and help you mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I want to find a way to bridge that connection. While I can't touch you physically, I sure can touch you with my heart. And I can be here and I can open up a space for us to engage together, to interact together. Hey, Larry. Hey, Sharon. So that we can show up collectively and connect and build community. I also am launching a 7-day activation. It is creating yourself resilient. We are kicking it off Thursday, building a huge community, because the more of us that show up together, the more we can activate energy that is going to raise, that's going to lift the vibration, lift the level of consciousness, and shift us into the possibility of what is coming once we get through this conflict. And right now, yes, we are in the middle of conflict. We are in the middle of uncertainty and chaos and craziness and change. And we can either choose to get sucked into that, or we can recognize the blessings and the gratitude that are being presented for us and create connection where together we are stronger. And I put the link in the front top of the video. If you're interested, join us. I'm gonna go live on both Zoom and Facebook. So for people that don't want to play on Facebook, I get it. 9 o'clock every morning, we're gonna go. It's gonna be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 days in a row. It's gonna be a huge activation series. And it's going to be a way that we get to co-create together. It is so important in community that we are co-creating. We are going to co-create together resiliency tools, ways to combat or ways to push forward, expand from, a better way to say that, expand from all of what feels like the what if scenarios that are playing and propel ourselves forward with a higher vibration so that we collectively can start to lift and shift into what is going to be what transmutes and dissipates out this conflict that we're feeling right now. When enough hearts, when enough souls come together and activate, we can, and I know some of you know, I like to say this on coffee chats when I do that in my monthly group. It's like the Care Bear stare. Did you guys ever watch Care Bears growing up? I swear to God, it was one of the most brilliant cartoons, because each one of them, you know, if you don't know the Care Bears, they have their little emblem on their belly, right? And yes, I am relating all of this to Care Bear stare right now. Of course I am. It's a cartoon. Of course I am. But they all have their little emblem. One has a heart, one has a rainbow, one has a 4-leaf clover, one has a happy face, whatever it is. The Care Bears all have their emblem, right? And they all have the capacity to shine their light out individually. So something that feels challenging, something that's conflicted, they shine their light and they're able to diminish the power of it, right? They get to, because light, that frequency, that vibration is so much more powerful than this negative worry, this fear, this stress. When you come from a place of love, your light is so powerful. Yet, if you've ever watched that cartoon, you notice that they're only so powerful when they're shining their own light. It's when they link arms and they go, Care Bear stare. And like I said, yes, I'm completely using that as the analogy right now. I love the Care Bear stare. When they link arms and they create the kind of like the half circle and they stand, and when they count down and they say, time for the Care Bear stare, when each one of them then brings the light that's inside of them and emanates that out, all of the darkness, all of the conflict, all of the evil, all of the fear just goes away. That is the power of activation. That is, if ever, the power of an activation. And when we have a community that comes together and links their arms and does the Care Bear stare, which is what we're going to do over 7 days starting Thursday, we have the ability to build some of the most resilient tools that can propel us forward and expand us past the conflict that we're in. It can truly transmute the energy. And you can already feel that. They're already saying that there are more cases reported of coronavirus that are recovering than there are being reported now. So we're turning that energy already because people are showing up and shining that light. I'm asking, as we build connection, as we build community, that we come together and create the Care Bear stare, our version of the Care Bear stare, so that we can then create a higher level vibration, a higher level of consciousness, and a higher way that we can transmute the energy that feels so just right now. And in order to do that, and this is the biggest reason why I'm jumped on tonight, the biggest or the most powerful way you can do that is to make sure that you're taking care of you first, and that you're working through whatever's showing up for you, that you're getting yourself right, that you're allowing yourself to be open, that you're creating ways to expand, whether it be through meditation, whether it be through connecting with nature, whether it be playing and taking opportunity to connect with your family, whether it be really mindful and purposeful about the words that you're choosing to use and the thoughts that you entertain, and whether it be the space of you being clear about how you're nourishing your mind, body, spirit, and soul. And so very important that you're taking time for rest and recharge and replenishment and renewal and reflection, and being able to receive other people's assistance, because it's not always about you taking care of everybody else. It's not always about you being the person that is responsible for everyone or holding space or any of that other stuff. Ask for what you need. This is our time to say, I'm feeling like I'm drowning right now. I just need somebody to reach out through the social waves of, ways that we can connect right now, and just sit with me on a video, or sit with me on a call, or in a text, or just pray for me right now, or just offer and light it up. I love, we talk about this in my mastermind group. Let's light it up. Hello, Michelle. Let's light each other up, because sometimes we just need to allow other people to light us up as well. And you don't have to be everything to everyone. I know many of you are being called to show up. I know many of you want to serve, want to do something. Then create the first part of the activation, which is healing yourself first, which is lifting and shifting your own self out. And it might mean, and there's no shame in this, it might mean that you need to ask for support. You need to ask for someone to light you up. You need to ask for help. You need to ask for a shoulder. Whatever it is, reach into your community and know that together we're stronger, right? And when you're ready, and if you're ready, and if you're feeling called the way I'm feeling called, I'm telling you, it shifted. Sunday and Monday, I had a Reiki session. I worked with my coach, had a reset call. I was like, seriously, I was losing my shit because everything just felt like it was coming down. Not only was I going through my own stories, everybody else's stuff kind of felt like it was like, and I wanted to do something. I wanted to take action. What I didn't realize is the first action was to take care of me. And so I want you to activate that space first. And then if you're being called, if you're like, I don't know what to do, I want to put some energy out there that's going to help raise us up, lift us right now and shift us, then I'm going to encourage you to join us on Thursday. Click the link that's above. Come join us for a 7-day powerful activation. And here's the thing, even if you can't join live, we're going to go at 9:00 Central every morning, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 days in a row. Powerful activation around how to create yourself resilient during this time, how to really get the superpowers charged and make sure you're really activating that, and doing that with other people and building community and creating this interactive way to connect and communicate and engage. And even if you can't join us live, they will be recorded. You still can be part of the activation just by being in that community. I will be sending out a message every day with the replay. I will be sending everything out so that you can actively be connected into our Care Bear Stare that we're going to create as part of this activation. This is our opportunity. This is the way we come together in community and build connection. And so I invite you to join us, because the more of us that come together and create this activation, the more of us that come together and build this community and co-create together, and whatever is going to come on the other side of this conflict right now is going to blow our effing minds. I just want you to know that. It is like, so I can feel it. There's a few of us that are already like, man, there's something juicy coming. It's something. We can't really see it right now. But if you really believe, if you've ever seen that turn, there is something that is waking our asses up. It is like right-siding things, and it is our opportunity. I feel like there is such power in what's coming, and this is our opportunity to activate that at its fullest. So, questions, thoughts, how can I be helpful? Anything you guys need right now before I tell you to unplug and go take care of, do some things for yourself. Go read a beautiful book. Go listen to a beautiful piece of music. Take time to breathe. If you didn't watched my video earlier, go out. I gave you a way to do an expansive breathing technique to help you if you're feeling like you're a little jammed up. If you're like, man, I get you, I hear you, Candy, and I'm still spinning. Clear it out. I also did a blog post yesterday. Go check that out. I talk about how to meditate. I give you a couple ways to do that, things that you can do for yourself to be more resilient. And even if you're spiraling, even if you're not fully activated for you and clear on what you need, come join us. We're going to kick things off Thursday morning, and I'm going to go for a week. We're going to go 7 days straight, and we're going to go every morning, and it's going to be available to you all day long, and it's going to be available. I'm going to send you an email. It'll all be there. And this is your opportunity to be part of this activation. We need your Care Bears there. And I invite you, I encourage you, I hope that you'll come join us because it's just, I know something incredible. The community that's already coming together is just powerful. Invite others, even people that aren't, you can take the link above. I will have it both available on Facebook Live in the private community, and I will have it available as a Zoom webinar so that those that are showing up can decide what space works best. And you'll get it just like I'm here. I'm in 2 different spaces going live right now. Totally doable. Technology makes everything possible. So any thoughts, any questions, any insights from all of you? Otherwise, I so appreciate you all joining tonight. Just know I'm holding you in my heart. I'm here. I really, truly mean it when I say I want to deeply support you. Hi, Ruth. Really want to support you, really want to be a resource for whatever might be showing up. Reach out. I'm here. I'm listening. I want to be available for you. I've moved what I need to move for me, and so I can be wide open and help you, and being called to do this activation starting Thursday. So with that, everybody, deep gratitude for all of you. Keep showing up. And please say yes to yourself first. Please make sure you're taking time for what you need, and realize that some of this right now is a gift, a really powerful gift for you. I know it doesn't feel that way, but it is, and it is. And think about what you can be grateful for, what you can lean into, and what's available to you in this present moment. Hi, Perry. And allow yourself to just lean into that. Say yes to yourself, destroy the noise, know that we are okay in this moment. This moment is all that's real. Don't future project out all the what ifs, and give yourself space and grace for rest, restoration, renewal, receiving, and just a little play in the imaginative. Imagine if this is moving us into something so beautiful, so exquisite, and so juicy that we have no idea what's coming, right? And so take time to connect with each other, be nice to each other, extend compassion, grace, kindness, patience, forgiveness, love. Just love on each other, even if it's through these ways. Kevin, you are so welcome. Thank you so much. So with that, everybody, I love you. Mwah. Hi, Christina. And wishing you just a beautiful evening. Unplug a little bit. Stop watching all the news. Stop getting all sucked in, and allow yourself to just be present. Just be present to whatever's showing up for you right now. And just know, good, bad, or indifferent, it's all happening for you, and it's beautiful. And even the stuff that feels heavy, there's beauty in it. And so I'll leave you with that. Just know I love you. I may be back on sometime tomorrow. Hi, Tiffany. And just sending you the hugest virtual heart-to-heart hugs. Carrying you.